Hi guys, Alison from Rebuild Your Mindset and Happiness. Just sort myself out. How are we all doing today? It's very cold, isn't it, today, but very sharp and blows all the germs away, hopefully. So I'm just touching base on this past life quote this morning. It's healing. I release the past with ease and forgive everyone. So healing from the past has been a big step in my journey, and I just wanted to jump on and give you a little bit of an insight, really, because I would never ever do or teach or try to help any other person in something that I hadn't conquered myself or been there and come out the other side, so to speak. So for me, it's a big journey of limited belief shifts and everything, which I've said before, and everybody's past has different circumstances, has different elements in it. Everybody's past is not the same. Some hurts and traits are more than others, and some people have a nice life all the time. Well, that's really nice too. But as for me, I had many ups and downs. I spoke about before as a child, all the hardship and things we went through, as well as the happy times. But growing up, in my relationships, I always felt that it was myself to blame. I deserved it. I must have done something to have this attracted to me. If somebody said I was ugly, I'd believe them. If somebody said I was fat, I'd believe them. I'd look in the mirror and think I was fat. If somebody said I couldn't cook, I'd believe them. If somebody said things weren't good enough and I wasn't good enough, I'd believe them. Why? Because of my past traits from family, from listening to families, and like say as a child you're growing up, and I said before yesterday, money is a big thing in people's lives. You hear your parents say money doesn't grow on trees. If only I had this money, then I could get that. Where do you think I get this money from? So as you're growing up, you know, your mind, it sticks in your mind like a sponge again, and as time goes by, it collectively fills up with more of the same feelings and the same hurts and the same past. So then when you get your children, you have constantly got nothing because you don't never believe that you can have it. Yeah? So to release the past hurts and traits within your relationships, in your family relationships, in your childhood relationships, in your ex-partner's relationships, whether it be abusive relationships, mental abusive, whether it be drugs, drink, anything, it all triggers off something within us. So like for me as a child, I was raised and brought up in a pub. Okay, my mum and dad owned a pub. So for me, of a weekend, and don't get me wrong, I weren't sitting in the pub all the time, but like I used to go over the pub quite a lot, and I used to see, you know, and as they did, they sorry about that, and as they did, they would be all happy and go lucky, but towards the end of the night they'd all get more drunk, and then the rows started, and then sometimes they would be fighting and all that, and consequently it wasn't the right thing to do, but it was what I see in my childhood as being brought up, and it wasn't anybody's fault, because back then that was my mum and dad's job, and that's what they did. They were landlady and landlord of a club. You know, there was children there. It's just the way of the world. Anyway, cut a long story short, when I grew up, consequently I was straight into the pubs, because it's what I knew as a place to gather, a place to meet people, a place to have a community around you. So then I met my partners in the pubs, you know, and it was the normal. So then when they drank, it was the normal, because I was always around people that drank, and everything was normal, and before you know it, the ball starts rolling. You have children and they see you growing up and with beer in their lives, and then they're drinking, and before you know it, this little ball is fucking huge without you releasing it. You know, you've all got limited beliefs in there. So I believe that that was the right thing to do. I believe that hardship came because we never had no money as a children when my mum and dad split up. I believed that I was never going to get any money because I'd fixed it in my mind that I was never worthy of it. I was never worthy of having anything nice. I was never worthy of having good things. I was never worthy of having a nice home or bank account, money in my bank account, where I didn't have to wonder where I could go for the shops and think, oh, I can't have that, can't afford it. I would never have felt worthy of that. So until I removed my beliefs from my childhood and everything that I truly and utterly believed was right, did I wake up? And now I wonder, what the hell? Don't get me wrong, I love my life and it made me grow and it made me strong, but releasing them has made it so much more lighter, so much more, I feel so much more alive. Does that make sense? So just to release you, sorry, I'm really hot. So just to release old patterns, and I'm still got my book here because I just can't believe and because until we forgive what them people have done to you, so like not so much like the hardship of the money and stuff like that, but like, you know, like if you've been mentally abused, like I was mentally abused. I felt I was so mentally abused, and I felt that they knocked confidence out of me, that they took my self-worth and everything. Well, it wasn't them, was it? It was me. I was the one that was attracting it. It was my fault. It was all coming to me because I, in my mind, believed that's what I should have in my life. Yeah? So as I'm attracting it, it's coming in bloody garages loads, just tipping it right in there. So until I started my journey of my soul searching, started my mindset coaching, started my intuition and my meditating and my journaling and everything like that, and breaking down the barriers through my meditations and my coaches and things, and working through all my beliefs systems from years ago and all my history, until I did that, I was on that wagon of no self-worth, no self-love, didn't think I deserved this, didn't think I could deserve that, my life was what I was, being treated like a doormat, you know, and the list goes on. The list goes on, okay? So until you release and forgive them people for what they did, and you're thinking, forgive them, they're the ones that made me feel like this. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're trapping yourself within this cage of hurt and despair, and only you've got the key to unlock it and let yourself out. Yeah? So for you to forgive them is forgiving yourself. You're forgiving yourself for thinking that they are right in what they're doing, because they're never going to say sorry. So until you say sorry to yourself and forgive them people, and then the light starts coming through. And I found one of my old journals from way back when I started doing this, and where's my affirmations? I'm going to read them to you. So I wrote down, when I started writing down my lists, I had like a negative list and a positive list, and when I started journaling, everything was negative. It was like, oh, they're doing this to me, and this is pissing me off about that person, and da 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 da, and it was nothing about myself, it was about everybody else. It was nothing about myself. And then I wrote this list, and I out with it, and then I like out and in. So it's out with negativity, out with rudeness, out with bitterness, out with the old, out with drinking, out with eating fatty foods, out with being lazy, out with being silent, out with being the doormat, and out of being deflated. Yeah, because I was so negative within, it was unbelievable. And as I keep saying, if you're negative and you're giving out negative, all you're going to get back is negative. All you're going to get back, hello Sarah, you right? All you're going to get is back is the rudeness. All you're going to get back is the bitterness. And then you get all the people drinking around you, and then you just drink because you're in the same environment. And then after you drink and you eat your fatty food, then you feel lazy. Then you're quiet because you're all bleh. And then the doormat situation comes in, you feel like you're a doormat and people are wiping their feet on the way out and not on the way in on you, and then you're all deflated, and then before the end of it you're all absolutely shattered. So I got rid of all that, and the positives. I was positive, kind, in with the kindness, in with the softness, in with the new, the healthy, the good food, the exercise, the laughter. It's priceless. And standing tall and owning my ground. Okay, and that was back middle of last year that I had to, I did all that. It's amazing what you read. And before I did that, today, this was the 29th of the 7th last year. I'm very emotional today, feeling deflated, exhausted. Fuck them all, I feel like exploding, excuse my French. So that's how I felt. So, and I would never say anything like that now, because I just don't feel like that. I just feel so much happier in myself, I've got so much self-worth for myself. I don't think nothing now of going out and if I want it, get it. Because the more you hold on to that last penny, the more it's just going to sit there stagnant. You've got to spend a little bit here and there for it to come back in. Yeah, because while you've got your old, it's like the old negative energy, while you've got that all around you, if you don't clear it out and give the fresh air, like giving your sheet a wobble to get the fresh air in and bring the new in, you're always going to stay stagnant in your own space. And that was what I found in everything of my life, really. I would join in when people were gossiping. I would give my opinion. Well, I don't give opinions now, because my opinion is my own opinion, and in fact I've got no opinion, because I've got my own opinion on what I do in myself, because what everybody else is doing is up to them, because nobody can change it, only them. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying today is, unless you're ready to forgive the people that give you past hurts or past hurt in yourself, to forgive them is to release them, is to release the anger within and open your heart to heal. Okay, so that is the big start of the journey, really, to forgive that person that's always, thank you Sarah, if you forgive that person, and or you know, when you're sitting there and you say, well, she did this and she did that, and like, well, she never did this, and she never come round when I said, well, she never come round when she knew I was poorly or whatever. Well, or did you let her know? Or did you let them know? No. Well, how the hell are they supposed to know you're poorly? So don't sit and criticise, because if they don't know, how are they supposed to act? If you don't tell anybody, nobody knows. Does that make sense? So like, if you are despair, if you don't know where to turn, if you have got all this hurt sitting in there and you don't look for help, how's anybody going to help you? They're not, are they? But only you will know when you're ready. When you're ready to switch that switch from fear of darkness to the love and the light, you'll do it. Whether you do it on your own, or you do it with family, friends, coach, whatever you desire. But you can only do it for yourself, not for anybody else. And don't be scared that if you step out of your comfort zone, that the people that you love are going to fall away. Because if the people that you love truly love you, they'll stay, and they'll see how happy you are within, and they'll see how happy you are with not doing what you used to do, drinking, going out, taking drugs, eating fatty foods, doing less exercise. They will see how more uplifting and happy you are within your body and your soul, and they will follow you. And if they don't, that's because they have themselves got a cage within them, and they're caging themselves and they're locking themselves in. So when you start looking after yourself, maybe you can then help the next person to unlock themselves. It's a journey, and it's a consistent journey, and it's a journey that will never end, because there's always another thing that crops up and another thing that crops up. But as you get stronger, you learn how to deal with it in a different manner and bounce back quicker to stay in your level-headed happiness state of mind. So I just thought I'd jump on and have a little wonder about that. As I say, I am Alison from Rebuild Your Own Mindset and Happiness. I'm certified intuitive healer and life purpose activator, mindset coach, oracle card reader, and a Reiki practitioner. I have got my website. Please contact me through there if you want to know anything about any of my services. And take care of you. Have a good afternoon in this chilly day, but beautiful and dry and safe. So you stay safe and have a good day. Bye bye.